I'm standing in a coffee shop watching two people order the exact same drink. Same age, same neighborhood, same jobs that pay within a few thousand of each other. Same drink, same $6.40. From the outside, they are identical. Neither one looks wealthy, neither one acts wealthy. But in 5 years, one of them will have quietly, invisibly pulled so far ahead that catching up becomes almost mathematically unlikely. And the gap is already open, right now, today. Not in their bank balance, not in their salary, not in anything you can actually see standing in a coffee shop. It lives in one habit. One so quiet, so structurally invisible, that most people go their entire lives without realizing they're missing it. It's not hustle, it's not investing, it's not even budgeting. It's a sequence. The order in which money moves the moment it touches your account. And I want to show you exactly what I mean. Because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Here's how most people think about saving money. You earn it. You spend on what you need. You spend on what you want. And then, if anything's left, you save it. Earn, spend, save. That's the default. That's how it's taught informally, by watching every adult around you who never quite got ahead. And here's the brutal reality of that sequence. There is almost never anything left. Not because people don't make enough, because the sequence itself guarantees there's nothing left. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Fine. But here's the number that should stop you cold. 33% of households earning over $150,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck too. Income isn't the variable. Think about that. Someone triples their income and still has nothing, because the sequence didn't change. Earn more, spend more, still nothing left at the end. Economists have a name for this: lifestyle inflation. But that's just the symptom. The root cause is the sequence. When you spend before you save, your brain files every dollar as available the second it lands. It does not earmark. It does not plan. It just sees money and says, "Great, let's use that." And your lifestyle quietly expands to fill every dollar of that available space. Every single time. Not because you're irresponsible, because you're human. I once told myself I'd save whatever was left over at the end of the month. I checked the account at the end of the month. $14.72. I had somehow spent everything except enough for a sad gas station sandwich. That's not a budgeting failure. That's the sequence working exactly as designed. The default sequence will absorb every dollar you give it. $20,000 a year, $50,000, $150,000. Doesn't matter. It expands. Always. There's a simple test for which sequence you're running right now. The Federal Reserve uses a version of it. It's called the $400 emergency test. The question is this: if an unexpected $400 expense hit today, car repair, medical bill, doesn't matter what, could you pay it without borrowing, selling something, or putting it on a card? That test reveals which sequence you're running in under 10 seconds. Not your income, not your intentions, your sequence. And I'll show you exactly what it means in a minute. If the answer was yes easily, your sequence is probably already working for you in some form. If the answer was no, or you had to think about it, you're in the default. Before I go further, if this is landing for you, hit subscribe, because I keep finding these invisible mechanics that nobody explains clearly. And I'd rather you hear about them here than figure them out the hard way 10 years from now. Now, back to those two people at the coffee shop. Let me give them some numbers because this is where it gets real. Let's say they both take home $3,800 a month after taxes. Rent, utilities, groceries. The fixed stuff runs about $2,400 for each of them. That leaves $1,400 in what feels like breathing room. Person 1 runs the default sequence. The $2,400 sits in checking. Life happens. Dinner's out. A streaming upgrade. New shoes because the old ones were fine, but these are really nice. End of month, maybe $80 left, maybe less. Nothing moved to savings. Person 2 runs a different sequence. The day the paycheck lands, $120 moves automatically to a separate savings account. Not $500. Not some heroic number, just $127. Now they have $1,273 visible in checking. That's what their brain treats as available. Their lifestyle expands to fill $1,273 instead of $400. In 12 months, person 2 has $1,124 saved. Not because they earned more, not because they budgeted harder, because the sequence ran differently before their brain had a chance to count the money as spendable. I got a $6,400 raise in 2022. You want to know how much more I saved that year? Exactly $0. Because I hadn't flipped the sequence yet. I was still running the default. More money, same result. That raise felt good for about 2 weeks. Then it just became the new normal. The new floor my lifestyle quietly walked up to and stood on. The $6,400 didn't make me wealthy. The sequence I was running didn't change, so the outcome didn't change. I just had a slightly nicer version of the same problem. This is the part nobody talks about when they say get a better job, earn more, work harder. They're prescribing more input into a broken sequence. A broken sequence doesn't care how much you pour into it. It was built to absorb everything, and it will. So what's the other sequence? What does it actually look like when it's working? I want to be specific about this because vague advice is how people stay stuck. The working sequence has a name. I call it the invisible sequence. And it's invisible because it happens before you ever consciously see the money. Your brain is basically a golden retriever with a bank account. If it can see the money, it will chase the money. The invisible sequence works by hiding the ball before the retriever even gets to the yard. What it means in practice: the saving happens first, before you spend a single dollar on anything, before you check your balance, before your brain has registered the deposit as available. You earn it. You save it. Automatically, immediately. Then you live on what's left. That reversal is the entire thing. That's the invisible sequence. Remember those two people from the beginning? Here's what their bank accounts actually look like at the 5-year mark. Same balance on payday, completely different futures. Because one of them has been quietly running this sequence for 60 months. Person 1, 5 years in, still at $80 to $150 left over at the end of every month. Still one $400 emergency away from a credit card. Still paycheck to paycheck with a better salary. Person 2, 5 years in, $7,120 saved. Emergency fund covered. Starting to think about investing. Not stressed when the car needs work. The $400 test? Easy. And the wild part? Person 2 did not feel dramatically more restricted. Their lifestyle adapted to what they could see in their checking account. The sequence hid the savings before the adaptation could happen. This is why the invisible sequence is invisible. You don't feel it saving you. It just does. Now here's what most people get wrong when they try to flip their sequence. They try to flip it with willpower. They say, okay, this month I'll just not spend as much and whatever's left goes to savings. That is still the default sequence. They just added a wish to it. The invisible sequence doesn't ask for willpower. It removes the decision entirely. When there is no decision to make, willpower is irrelevant. You literally cannot spend what your brain doesn't know it has. The behavioral economics research on this is staggering. When companies auto-enroll employees in 401ks, instead of requiring them to opt in, participation rates jump from around 40% to over 90%. Same people, same paycheck, different sequence. The system figured out what took me an embarrassingly long time to accept. The sequence matters more than the intention. Structure beats motivation every single time. The difference between these two paths isn't discipline. It's one setting change that takes 90 seconds to make. And I want to show you exactly what that setting is. Let me also say something that gets skipped in almost every finance conversation. The amount you start with matters less than you think. $120 a month. That's the number I used earlier on purpose. It's not a round number. It's not an inspiring number. It's the number that's small enough to not feel painful and automatic enough to never get talked out of. Starting big fails because big feels like sacrifice. And sacrifice is something your brain actively looks for ways to stop. Small and automatic is boring. Boring is the whole point. The invisible sequence thrives in boredom. It does nothing interesting. It just moves money before your brain wakes up to object. And then it keeps doing it every single month. Now, let's bring the 5-year window into focus. Because this is where the math stops being abstract and starts feeling like something you want to act on today rather than someday. The 5-year wealth divergence window is real. Financial researchers have tracked it. People who establish a consistent saving sequence in their 20s and early 30s diverge from their peers financially in ways that compound for decades. The person who started at 28 and the person who started at 33 are not 5 years apart. They're often 30 or 40 years apart by retirement. Because of compounding, because of habit entrenchment, because of how identity forms around what you consistently do. The window isn't 5 years long. It's about 5 years early. And every year you wait narrows it. I want to be honest with you here. I spent years believing I'd sort this out when I made more. When life settled down, when the right moment appeared, The right moment never appears. You set the sequence, and the sequence creates the moment. Here's the exact setup. And if you do this before your next payday, you've already switched sequences. Not thinking about it, not planning to, actually switched. Step 1. Open a separate savings account. Not the savings account attached to your checking. A different one. Different app, different bank if you can. Physical distance from the spending account matters. Pause real quick. If you want the rest of this, you know what to do. Subscribe. Because I'm about to get into the specific timing detail that makes this actually work. And it's the part most people miss even when they try to run this sequence. Step 2. And this is the part I withheld until now because it's the whole thing. You schedule the automatic transfer for the same day as your payday. Not the day after, not the end of the month. The exact same day. Here's why the timing is everything. If the money sits in your account for even 24 hours, your brain has already started counting it. It's already been mentally spent on 3 different things. But if the transfer fires the same day as the deposit, before you've opened the banking app, before you've checked the balance, before it psychologically registers as yours to spend, it never existed as spendable money in your mind. That's the invisible sequence made real. The money moves before you consciously have it. You live on what remains. The savings are never sacrificed because they were never on the table. Step 3. Start with $127 or less. Seriously, don't try to save $400 out of the gate. The goal in month 1 is to prove to yourself the sequence works without pain. Once you've run 2 or 3 months and noticed you didn't feel the $127 leave, because you didn't, because it was gone before you looked, then you nudge it up, maybe to $160, maybe $200. The sequence builds on itself. Every month it runs, your baseline recalibrates. What feels like your normal spending money quietly shrinks. And you barely notice because it happened before you could. Now, about that $400 test. Run the invisible sequence for 6 months at $127 a month, and you've built 762s. You pass the test. 1 more month, you're past 1,000. The emergency fund starts looking like a real thing. And once you have an emergency fund, something shifts in how you carry yourself financially. You stop making scared money decisions. You stop accepting bad terms because you needed something right now. You negotiate differently. You think longer. That's the second-order effect of the invisible sequence. It doesn't just save money. It changes the quality of every financial decision downstream. Because you're no longer operating from desperation. Back to the coffee shop. Those 2 people. Same drink. Same $6.40. Same job. Same neighborhood. Completely different sequences running in the background of their financial lives. You cannot see wealth 5 years before it happens. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't look different. It just quietly accumulates in the gap between what your brain thinks you have and what you actually earned. The sequence is the thing. It was always the sequence. Set it up before your next payday, make it same day, start smaller than feels meaningful, and then just let it run. That's it. That's the whole habit. And 5 years from now, you'll know exactly which person at the coffee shop you became.